My name's Karina Funk. I'm a partner, co-portfolio manager, and also head of sustainable investing at Brown Advisory. Brown Advisory, we're north of $65 billion under management in a combination of advisory services in terms of asset allocation for clients, as well as providing investment strategies, equities, fixed income, private equity as well. I co-manage our large cap sustainable growth strategy. We launched it 9 years ago, and we do a lot of very rigorous fundamental bottoms-up due diligence. Indelible to that process is also very thorough sustainability and ESG research, and that just helps build our investment conviction. So by now we have clients that simply use us as a large cap growth allocation, hired to beat a benchmark. Other clients use us as a sustainability or a values aligned mandate because they find that our research process in uncovering sustainability risks and opportunities really resonates with their value system. So we are perfectly happy with the intentionality of either very attractive investment returns or values alignment because we know you can achieve both. And that's why we're so happy to be here at this conference with some of the leading thinkers and doers and investors that really have that ambition. And by now we're in very good company. A lot of managers, a lot of advisors have proven out that you really don't need to have a trade-off between investment performance and values alignment.
Yeah, definitely with the numbers that just came out this week with 12 trillion, was it? 12 trillion, yeah. So definitely that's going to impact the conference and the conversations that we see and have seen going forward. Now, you're a committee member.
Yes, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your involvement as a committee member and why you took on that responsibility.
I've been honored to be an agenda committee member for the past 4 years. Mm-hmm. I was really honored that Brown Advisory was asked to be further involved. There are a lot of figures, large numbers in terms of assets identifying or coming into this space. And frankly, I just think that all investment managers and advisors should be incorporating sustainability just to be better at what you do for clients every day, provide investment management and advice. And so for the SRI conference to be a must-attend place for a firm like Brown Advisory, I hope reflects just how important this kind of content is and this kind of learning and the innovation that we're all doing together to really grow the market. Because again, all investing has some kind of an impact, and I think that the opportunity is there to just be better at what we all do for clients by incorporating sustainability thinking, and a lot of that leading thinking we really hear at this conference.
There's some advisors who are probably just toying with the idea of getting more engaged around ESG and SRI. What message do you have for them?
So, I just don't. I think that incorporating sustainability and ESG really needs to undergo the same rigor of due diligence, the same high bars that we would expect of any manager that expresses any kind of investment philosophy. If you're looking for a growth manager, you don't just choose one from a basket of growth managers. Same with ESG or sustainability managers, or quant managers, or hedge fund, or value managers. There's a lot of different ways to achieve both financial performance and values alignment. Personally, I don't think you can put so many heterogeneous approaches into sort of just one broad bucket and expect to achieve the same results. Some results are more focused on impact, some results are more focused on closely tracking an index or a benchmark, some approaches are really focused on providing alpha, and that's where I and my team fit in. But I think all those approaches are valid, and they're all better because they incorporate sustainability thinking. And here at this conference, I think attendees have an opportunity to really learn about all of those approaches and discern for themselves, does it fit their objectives, whether it's values alignment or helping them achieve their financial or other goals through their investments.
So we're in day 2 of the conference. What have been some of your highlights?
Let's see, I guess just, I think that in a lot of the panels we've had very diverse opinions. I mean, by now we have a lot of advisors, a lot of investment managers who have many years of experience. Mm-hmm. And they can speak to that, which is great. And it's great to disagree with each other. This is not like I said, it's not a monolithic approach mm-hmm. to socially responsible investing or sustainable, responsible, and impact investing. So I've been enjoying hearing the debates. This afternoon, we had a very large asset manager that really needs to invest in the entire market. We got over 50 questions that I think really got to the heart of what the role is of an investor, of anyone who has the responsibility to vote proxies or to engage with companies. And I just loved seeing all the different questions. Some of them were quite challenging, but this is the venue where we can really air all of that out and we can all learn from each other.
One question that came up a few times in a number of the panels and discussions that took place was the concept of diversity and inclusion. Mm-hmm. You talked about that for a little bit?
Yeah, no, I can't. I haven't been on these. So
from a personal perspective, as a woman in the financial, so let's take that approach. Do you feel comfortable with that question?
Yeah. So go ahead and ask the question then.
So as a woman in the financial space,
mm-hmm.
Can you share with us some of your experiences and how you see the industry, how it's evolved since when you started and where you'd like to see it going forward?
Right. In terms of diversity and inclusion, mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of firms that have been on a journey for a long time to improve. We at Brown Advisory are on that journey, and what I appreciate in the past several years is just calls for increasing transparency and for the data. And you know what? There's the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to diversity and inclusion data. When it comes to firms that we all work for or firms that we might think about investing. But I think it's really great to have the open conversation. To have more of the data, we need to do better on that front. It's pretty obvious that in financial services and in investment management, there are definitely certain, there's women and other groups that have traditionally been underrepresented. Mm-hmm. But we all know that it's not good enough to say, well, the pipeline's not there. The pipeline is absolutely there. There's talent everywhere. I mean, there's 700 people at this conference, and there's way more out in the industry. And I think that if we just have these hard conversations, and if we're also not complacent with our investments and within our own firms, that we always challenge the status quo and that we go out and get the pipeline that's there and not make the wrong assumptions about it, that I think we're all moving in the right direction, but the data has to move too.
Next year is the 30th anniversary of the SRI Conference and Community. So I just love to get your perspective of what you would like to see next year. When you see everyone come back, what stories do you want to hear? What changes? How do we move the needle?
So it'll be a great opportunity for a lot more education. One great thing about this conference is that there's a high percentage of first-time attendees. So let's see that number tick up because, like I said, I think we all have a lot to learn from each other. And I think as far as conversations that I think should happen, we need more conversations and more success stories and more inspiration on how to really move the needle. The question of why isn't my advisor or why isn't my investment manager incorporating this information, or I don't, my manager talks about this, but I don't really understand, sort of what's under the hood. We need to get more granular, and we also need to arm investors and advisors with the right questions to be asking and with the right expectations to be setting in terms of investments. I think we all have, like I said, the opportunity to just be better at what we do by incorporating the sustainability lens. So again, success stories And really how to do that, I think, would be a great part of the conversation next year. And I look forward to seeing you here next year.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great.